Hi there, beautiful people. Welcome back to English with Katharine, my YouTube channel. What's that? Something is coming up. Well, thank you very much. Guys, I've got to tell you about this desk. This desk is amazing. Let me explain. This desk has changed my life, right? Now, just bear with me. This is not the usual thing, I know. But the company called Flexispot very kindly gifted me this desk. Tom, my partner, is a graphic designer and he has to do a lot of work sitting up to a desk. And he had these really bad back problems because of it. And he started using one of these in his job and it really helped his back. He literally went from having a really old man's back to really nice back with no pain. And it's because it's a standing up desk. This is the future, guys. Seriously, we're all sitting down too much. So stand-up desks are really great for making you a bit more mobile when you're working. So because Tom had already used one of these desks at work, when the company Flexispot got in touch with me, I was like, oh wow, that's perfect. Yes, I would definitely talk about them in the video. I only ever say yes to things that I feel are relevant to you guys, that will enhance your lives in some way. And I really believe in this product. I really think that we are going into a world now where we're just not active enough. We are in a world of comfort and ease and convenience. And standing up while you're working is just a great thing. So just check them out. It's Flexispot. Go to their website, check out all their desks. They've got loads of choice. There's just a few buttons just here that I'm looking at right now, and you just press up and down, and there's a sitting man and a standing man. It's really couldn't be easier. Anyway, we're going to say goodbye to the lovely desk now for the video, so goodbye desk. So guys, what have I got for you today? Well, it's a pronunciation video. I haven't done one in a while, I know. I've been absent from the pronunciation world. But I haven't really. I've been beavering away thinking of ideas for you. Today we have some secrets. Would you like to know them? Don't tell anyone. I've got 3 secrets, okay? Not 4, not 2, not 1, but 3. 3. Because I think we can all agree that pronunciation, when learning a language, is pretty difficult. And it's not something you can just read a book and learn. You've got to be shown how to do it. So I'm here to do that. I teach the modern received pronunciation accent, mainly because it's the one that I use, so I know how to speak it. I'm very lazy, you see. The modern RP accent is spoken in the south of England, okay? So if you go north, you're probably not going to hear so much of this accent. It's usually in London, around London, and this is what I'm teaching on this channel. Shall we get started? I'm going to give you some tips that will help you blend words together, make everything smoother, more musical, and more easy on the ear. I'm not sure I have a whole lot more to say on that, so let's get started. Number 1, the first secret of the day, the secret Y sound. Okay, so the actual sound is y. Y is the sound of the letter Y. Okay, when you make the sound of each letter, you say T for T, don't you? Well, it's Y for Y. Now, I'm hoping you don't know about this so that it's new for you. But this little Y is an amazing little tool. It helps you sound how you're supposed to sound. So, in words that have a long vowel sound, usually you can tell this if there's 2 vowels in the word, it's probably going to be a long vowel sound. Not always though, of course, we know that English doesn't have rules, there are always exceptions, sadly. But take the word feel, okay, feel. Now, if you were to say it in a non-native way, you'd say feel, feel. But that's not how we say it. Sorry. We actually say it like this, feel, feel. Now, can you hear that secret y sound coming in just after the vowels? It just pops in and helps you get to the L. Feel. Feel. Can you hear it? Okay, if you say it like that, you will sound much more natural and it will not grate on the listener's ear when you try to say it. Because if you pronounce it like feel, the person might hear the word fill, which is a completely different word, and then they will be distracted by the fact that you've said that and are unlikely to then follow the rest of your sentence. So sometimes one word can do a lot of damage when it comes to comprehension. And what this secret Y does is it elongates the word People often say that English and the modern RP accent is really soft and lovely to hear, and that's because the words have been slightly elongated so that they flow. Some of the words are not elongated, there are still short words. That's why there's a lot of diversity in the rhythms, and that's why it sounds kind of like music. Here are some other examples of the secret Y coming in and helping you pronounce the word. Meal, sail, whale, wheel, aisle. So you see on those last two, this is a really useful sound when it comes to the apostrophe contractions like aisle. You need to say that y in the middle of the I and the double L because it just sounds much more natural. So aisle, aisle. Here are some sentences with the sounds in so you can listen and try to practice. Tonight I feel like a heavy meal. Tonight I feel like a heavy meal. I feel like a whale after the heavy meal. Okay, can you hear that there's way more musicality and beauty in whale than whale? Whale. It doesn't make you imagine a lovely aquatic friendly creature swimming in the sea if you just say whale. Whale. Secret number 2, the smooth Z. Now we say Z, the letter Z in British English. In American they say Z, which I actually prefer because it sounds really cool. Sorry, Tom just sneezed. Did you hear that? Bless you. He has allergies. Now first of all, before I tell you anything else, did you know, you probably know this, is not pronounced is, it's is. So this perfectly introduces my point about the S sometimes being a Z sound, okay? So for some unknown reason, we say is instead of is. So that's the first thing to tell you. Now, what this Z sound does is it enables you to go from one word to the next word. And this is all to do with avoiding sounding like you have a monotone voice, which I know a lot of you struggle with. By the way, if you're interested in reducing your monotone accent, you can email me for lessons. I have a few spaces and I'd be very happy to hear from you. So what this little cool Z does is it allows you to blend a word that ends with S into a word that starts with a vowel. This avoids a little break in the middle, which can often cause a very robotic rhythm and kind of monotone as well. It just means that you're more likely to sound like a flowing river rather than a non-flowing river. A puddle. Let me show you what I mean. With the little words in the English language, which take up so much of our speaking, this is where this comes in really handy. For example, is a. When you have is a, you're not going to say is a, you're going to say is a. So you're going to blend them together using the smooth Z sound. Also is in, is in, is in. And also is of, is of, is of. So here are some phrases or little sentences that you can listen to and try to understand what I'm saying. This really happens a lot. This really happens a lot. Happens a lot. Happens a lot. It almost now sounds like one word. That's what we're trying to achieve here. We don't want to break it up. We want to blend. Lizards are very intriguing. Okay, I couldn't have picked a more difficult word because we have a Z already in lizards. But lizards are very intriguing. Lizards are. It's actually quicker like this as well. You'll notice when you start to master this, you'll be like, why was I not doing this before? This is so much better. Jars and jars of honey and jam. Jars and jars. If you were to say it without the smooth Z, you'd be like jars and jars. Jars and jars of jam and honey. Okay, it sounds much more robotic, doesn't it? This doesn't always happen. Of course there's an exception, isn't there, with English? In the construction of this is, we don't have the Z sound with the S, okay? We have to have a true S on the end of this. I think because usually when we're saying this, we need the attention of the listener onto whatever we're saying. And that's my theory as to why we are not able to blend this in to the next word with a Z sound, because it needs to be powerful. So this is, of course we've got the Z on the end of is still, but not on this. Secret number 3. I was just talking about the little words in our speaking being very important. Well, here's another secret about little words. So when I say little words, I mean to, a, an, the, and for. These little words are like the glue that glue all our words together in sentences. And if you can make sure that you pronounce these little guys right, you can really change your accent completely. Again, this is going to make you sound smoother, more natural, and more native. So I'm going to talk about the schwa, of course. The schwa, sometimes I call it the magic sound, is so important in the modern RP accent. And in these little words, it's really, really powerful to use a schwa, and that will help you get to the next word so easily. So to becomes t when you say it in a sentence. A becomes a, an becomes n, the is already a schwa, but just to make the point, and for becomes f. Now that one is really, really great. Okay, when I hear my students saying for, it really kind of grates when they're talking, and I always tell them to say f, just say f, and the whole thing softens down and sounds much nicer. Now some little words do not have the schwa, and they really need to have a strong vowel, and those are in, on, and is. Okay, so these three little words, they do not have the schwa. So make sure you definitely say those with a lovely vowel sound. Of can go either way. Sometimes of turns into a schwa, sometimes of is a proper vowel sound. I'm going to read a piece of text to you now, and you can maybe hear the different uses of, different uses of pronunciation of. But yeah, this text is about Cornwall, one of my favourite places in the whole world, which is in the southwest of England. It's in like the leg that comes out of the UK, and I've been going there every year since I was inside my mum, actually. So an incredibly long time. Just have a little bit more tea. Now when I say this text, try and listen out for all the secrets I've just told you about, and try and sort of listen to them in action, because that's the whole point of the text. And I wrote it myself. The willow trees are weeping into the still water of the river. Emerald green seaweed gleams on the beach, which is scattered with these little seashells swirled with mother of pearl. I've never been able to find these shells anywhere else, and every time I visit Cornwall, I collect jars and jars of them. They really make me smile. This is Cornwall. The air smells of salt and damp. The colours are muted, like in an old film, shot with a sepia filter. Muted, faded, beautiful. Sailing boats are motionless, faithfully anchored to their moorings in the harbour. Dougie, the fisherman, is in his cottage, getting ready for a day out at sea. He'll be catching Cornish crab to go with bread and butter with a slice of lemon for tea. He's only got one eye, but that's okay. His Cornish intuition will make certain he'll catch plenty of crab and mackerel today. Meanwhile, a young couple sit up on the heath and look out to sea. The wild heather bends in the wind around them. The Cornish air fills their lungs. They feel as if they could do anything. The future is brighter than ever. Well, I hope you liked that, my little text about Cornwall. If you ever want travel recommendations, you can always email me about Cornwall, because I can tell you all the best places to go. Well, that's the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my secrets that I've shared with you. And let me know in the comments if any of it was just totally new for you, or if you just have any questions about it. Click subscribe if you'd feel so kind. It's Christmas time, and I've got my Christmas top on, as you may have noticed. Christmas earrings as well. I didn't even mention that in the first part of the video. How could I not? You can also follow me on Instagram. I share lots of tips and tricks about UK travel, actually, which I'm really interested in, and also all kind of things that I get up to in my everyday life. Happy Christmas, have a great one. I'll see you next Friday for another video. Bye.